Pizza.
Hey everybody, welcome to THS Lives. We are short Brian tonight, but aren't we all short of Brian? With me as always is Jared.
Hello.
THS Lives. We are short of Brian shit. Tonight, but aren't we all short of
Feedback.
And we always have Michael Lombardo with us, always sometimes.
Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Always in our hearts.
Sorry, as soon as Mike got on, we started chatting about all the different stuff. Mike was a guest at a comic convention or something last week. Sold out of I'm Dreaming of White Doomsday. He did tell me he only took 3 copies. So
it was actually 4 copies. One of them got screened.
Gotcha.
Now it was 25 copies. I was like, I'm gonna sell like 3 copies here. So fuck it. I'm not gonna bring any. And then I was like, So I brought 25 of those, 25 Suburban Holocaust, and then I brought a bunch of like old DVDs of mine that I was going to sell. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm loaded for bear, even though it's probably not going to be anything. And then we sold out, and I'm like, fuck, I should have brought more.
Yeah,
that's actually really awesome though to take it to. Was it a comic convention or was it?
It was like the first year of like a local Comic Con, and I got in. I mean, they're in dire straits when they invite me as a celebrity guest.
Yeah, but that's how.
I was with Brian Keene and all the other horror author buddies of mine, so it was a lot of fun. The guy that was the helicopter zombie from Dawn of the Dead was there, Jim Crut. So Lex made friends with him and had him handed like holding snakes and shit. So it was randomly like a reptile show there that Lex was just booth, I guess. I don't know.
All those pictures of her there. That's why when we went live last week, I was like, "Where's Mike?" And I was like, "I think I know where that guy is."
So yeah, it was a good time. The Village people were there. Who else was there? Like one dude from American Horror Story Freak Show was there. Matt, what is his name? Oh Christ, I can't remember his name. But he was really nice. Yeah, it was cool. A lot of cool people. A lot of people knew about Doomsday, which made me happy. They're like, I've been seeing this movie everywhere, and I'm like, good. I'm glad this shameless self promotion is paying off.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure if it's that. It just may be getting a buzz around the internet, from the Scream team, from us. And besides, I keep seeing it pop up on other horror sites. I know you were just on another podcast with Ash Hamilton.
Yep, Horror Fix.
Yeah, the Horror Fix. He's from my neck of the woods. He's about an hour away from me.
Oh no shit! I don't know.
Oh yeah. We've talked a few times about joining forces and doing something. Guy is a hell of an artist, and he did a short movie called Play With Me, I think. For they were trying to make a board game, and he's a cool guy. And I know. I mean, Doomsday and yourself are making the rounds, so that's good. It's a good time to be Michael Lombardo.
I get around, that's what they say.
So bad time to be Lex Quinn then. So anyway, tonight Brian is at New Jersey HorrorCon with Ginny Chuck and all the other Moon Goons. So it's just us holding down the fort. We got sidetracked because Joe Bob went live on Shudder, so we watched a little bit of that together, showing Chud, which that's we had to see what he had to say about Chud. And but now we're going to talk about, Jared wants to talk about the trailer for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Mike's got an opinion.
Yeah.
For me, it was just okay. I didn't really have a reaction to it. I was like, okay, that's a trailer. So, Jared, what do you got?
I mean, it was a very stereotypical trailer, but just the the looks of the creatures were pretty spot on with a couple of the creatures in the books, and that kind of really piqued my interest.
Oh, by the way, Brian's watching.
Oh, sweet. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Ew, gross.
Hey, Brian. But then at the end, they show the girl in the bathroom with the spider in her cheek, and that's actually one of my favorite stories of all of them. It'll be interesting to see how it happens. Has there been a rating put out for it? I can't imagine it's going to be any bigger than
PG-13.
PG-13. That's what I was thinking.
What's weird though is because it's obviously the stories are kid stories, but they're fairly graphic and very disturbing. So I don't know I mean, I don't need an R-rated scary stories to tell in the dark because they're not like that graphic. But this movie is clearly for us. It's for the kids that grew up with it. We're all adults, and I think that it looks too disturbing to show like a small child anyway. So I don't know. I think if it was going to be in like that weird limbo where it's not going to go quite far enough, although it might be too dark for the source material. I don't know. All I'm worried about, honestly, is that I don't want to have to carve this off of my arm.
No,
you don't have to. It's not. The Nazis aren't coming to get rid of the books because the movie was made.
Well, but if people start saying like, "Man, what a piece of shit," I'm gonna be really embarrassed. And like, you know, I'm like a fashionista, so my skin needs to be like, you know,
or
as current as possible.
They'll have no idea what that is because they'll only have seen the movie.
Well, yeah, that's true. But what I think I'm gonna do if the movie sucks, I'll carve this off and I'll replace it with like a Hannah Montana tattoo or like My Chemical Romance or whatever the kids are watching these days, so I can be cool again.
Whatever the hip kids are into.
Like that's what I really care about.
Sorry, I got
being cool.
You are. You know what? Just go full chud. You'll be good. You'll be good to go. Go full
I would
chud.
love to get a chud tattoo.
Why don't
I'm working on right now. Lex Quinn got me a little chud sculpture of a chud head.
Yeah.
For my birthday.
By the way, she told me like 2 weeks before your birthday and showed me a picture of it. So I had to hold that in on every show until your birthday.
So you got to see my little chud head.
She showed me your chud. How's it? You have it with you?
I have it downstairs. You want me to grab it and show the viewer?
Grab it. Let's check it out.
Yes, please.
Right. Me and Jared can talk bad about you while you're gone.
Do it.
Mike's a fucking prick.
I saw his butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to watch that trailer again, but it was meh. What I'd really like to do is read the books, and if the trailer is not too graphic, maybe take Reynolds to see it. We were talking to somebody about something, and I said I want to take him to see Pet Sematary, but he couldn't handle it. So, You got it, Mike?
I do. So this is.
There we go.
I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera. It's really detailed.
Yeah, it is.
Cthulhu something. I can't remember. His name is Mike Swiss that did it. I forget the name of his company. It's Cthulhu something or other, like Cthulhu Spaghetti or something weird. But what I want to do is I bought this wood disc. So I'm going to sculpt a sewer lid on here and then resin and then glue it on. And
man, that'll be cool.
That's going to be awesome.
I'm going to do the eyes. I got glow-in-the-dark yellow paint, and then I'm going to do glow-in-the-dark green paint and spatter the sewer lid.
That's going to be cool.
It's going to look really fucking badass. So I'm very excited. I've been cleaning out my effects studio all week, trying to reclaim it after Doomsday, because this is covered in Christmas props and all sorts of bullshit. So I'm trying to throw away stuff and clear it out so I can actually have like a room to work in again, and then I'll start sculpting it.
What can I do for you?
Well, I mean, you could dance or...
No, this dog's just staring at me now. I just let her out. Now she's staring at me. She's like, well, I went outside, now what?
That Lex does the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
You could do a little dance for us. That would be nice.
Well, I closed the door, and I don't think she liked that very much. So, what do you want from me? I've got nothing for you. You want to go back outside? Anyway, sorry, guys.
No,
I haven't had a dog in my house for like a year.
The Scary Stories trailer, it looks like the Goosebumps movie. And that's really frustrating.
It looks more graphic than the Goosebumps movie.
Well, I mean, obviously, but I mean, the storyline is the same, and it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. I think the visuals will be cool because I really dig the design of the ghosts and the creatures that they showed. Like, they did a good job translating them to real life, but I don't think it's going to work outside of that. It looks like a really generic ghost movie right now. Excuse me.
He's got the hiccups.
So, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely excited to see it. I'm excited to see the Pet Sematary. I'm sorry, not the Pet Sematary remake. The Pet Sematary readaptation because it's not a remake of the movie; it's a new adaptation of the book that just borrows several key visuals and pays fan service to fans of the original movie. You know, so it's not a remake.
Yeah. Well, are you actually excited, or are you being a smartass? Because
I'm half and half. Like
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of rereading the books. I haven't read it in like 20 years. And so is Lex, and our friend Wes is also rereading it. And then I have the Blu-ray of the original movie, which I'm a huge fan of. So I'm going to rewatch the movie after I read the book and then go see the new one. And then compare all three like I did with It.
Yeah, so, I really like the new cover art for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I love it. It's just like the old book. It's really cool art.
Thanks to you, I didn't know it was being released on just Blu-ray. I thought it was only 4K. So
yeah, I was surprised. It was like $12 at Target. Yeah. I was really happy.
I got mine at Best Buy. I went into this Best Buy that was they only had a kiosk for brand new movies, and that was it. That was all the movies they had. It was weird.
But like, you know, I'm skeptical about the new one, but I want it to be real. I want it to be good. Like, I am not pissed that they remade it. I think it's a little unnecessary.
Yeah, the first one's fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's everyone hates it now because just like the It miniseries, apparently now everyone decided that it's crap.
No, it's not. It's
just the new came out, but I think the original is a really good movie, and you know, I want to see. I mean, Stephen King wrote the script for the original. So far, it's pretty much word for word from the book. So I don't know what the new one is going to do that's going to make it any better. I mean, we'll see. It looks a little it looks a little generic horror tropey for my taste, but you know, I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. We'll see.
Yeah. You saw what?
I saw Us. Speaking of new movies, I did not.
That's right. I was going to ask you I read your thoughts on Facebook, but
I didn't really read your thoughts. I got to the point of knowing that you don't like it, and that was about it. So he doesn't like it.
It's not a bad movie. Like, it's the lead. The cast does a really good job. I think that there's a lot of parts of it that are really unsettling, and there's some really cool, like, creepy moments. But then there's just these random moments of like pop culture humor that completely derail the movie, and it just kills the tension. Like, they're getting attacked by, you know, crazy doppelganger family people, whatever. It's on the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. And they're hiding in the house, and they're like, oh, and now the dad goes, we need to set some traps like Home Alone. And then the little kid's like, what's Home Alone? And the dad's like, what? You never saw Home Alone? And it goes in this big thing. Like, one of the kids wearing a Jaws t-shirt. It's like, if you saw Jaws, you probably saw Home Alone. And two, what the fuck are you in the middle of like a home invasion and you're arguing about pop culture? Did Quentin Tarantino write this?
That can derail Quentin Tarantino. That can really derail tension. You know, that's
like, what the fuck? It's like Clerks in the middle of a horror movie, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, but also the movie doesn't make any sense. Like, it's obviously supposed to be a metaphor for like class and privilege and all that kind of shit. And that's fine, but if the metaphor works, the narrative doesn't. Because then the movie doesn't make any fucking sense if the metaphor works, and vice versa. And I just think that it was just sloppy narrative. Like the movie, like they explain the movie. There's little like a James Bond villain speech at the end, and I'm like, this is just bad writing. Like, you know. But there was cool stuff going on. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm torn. It was decent. And, like, it was very original. Like, I haven't seen a movie quite like it before, which was cool. And also, it opens on a shot of Chud on VHS. But that telegraphs a bunch of stuff in the movie. Like, I don't know. All the setups and twists were really obvious and stuff. And there's just so many references to other horror movies that it got kind of obnoxious. But
I wonder if that's Jordan Peele kind of trying to cater to the masses when – his first film, he really didn't, and he just, you know.
Well, I haven't seen Get Out, but I mean, I know he's a huge horror geek.
He is.
So, I mean, you know, I'm sure it was intentional. The thing is, like, I believe he's attached to the Candyman remake.
Yeah.
Which
he's producing it, not.
Yeah, he's producing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not a fan of Us. I haven't seen Get Out, but I think that he would be the person to do Candyman justice because he has a very, very social and cultural angle to his stuff. Obviously, like he's really interested in the subtextual stuff and like all that, and that's great, and that would work beautifully because that's what Candyman is. Candyman is very, very much that type of film, And I think so. It won't feel forced. And I think in Us, I think that he was torn between making a narrative or making a political statement, and I don't think that either quite worked.
Well, Get Out was a total political statement with that one. So
yeah, well, I'd read what the movie was about. I have not seen it, but I hear everyone has agreed pretty much that Get Out is the better movie. So I'm curious to see that. Like, the movie was not badly made. Like Us was a very, very well made movie. The cast was good. The cinematography, the editing, all that stuff was great. It's just the writing for me was not there.
I was going to say, I don't think Get Out has those moments you're talking about where there's tension building and then they start popping jokes. And I don't think there's really anything like that in Get Out.
Just the TSA guy, pretty much.
Yeah, but he's placed in certain moments. It's not like they're building up towards something and something's getting ready to happen and let's throw a joke in there. That doesn't happen. And his character is established that way early in the movie. But I don't know. I think Get Out's a really good movie.
It is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Well, it felt like the moments of humor in the Belko Experiment. Like that movie was really disturbing, and then it would just get super goofy for a minute.
Which one is that? Which one is the Belko Experiment?
That was one James Gunn produced with the office building being forced to murder each other. Like there's parts that
movie was unsettling.
Had John C. McGinley in it, I think.
There were some parts that really fucked with my head, like when they're executing people and shit. That stuff really bothered me.
Yep.
And then it was cut to a dog shitting outside, then goofy music montages of people getting killed. It's this is fucking stupid. Don't do that. You're undermining the tone of your own movie.
The seriousness of the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work. There's a certain type of movie. They do that a lot in Us. There's a lot of goofy music montage stuff. There's a bunch of kills to a Beach Boys song, Good Vibrations, and it's what the hell is this? It just doesn't fit. Tim Heidecker from Tim and Erica's in it, though. That was pretty cool. He's actually really good.
I like him.
He played. I mean, it's still kind of a goofy role, but it's serious. He's being a serious person, and it's kind of cool seeing him in something.
Wow, this tripod's bigger than I expected. Sorry, I was listening.
So my rating on Us, I'd give it a C-.
Do it on the scale. How many stars would you give it?
How many stars? Out of what?
Out of 5?
Out of 5?
Yeah.
I'd give it 2.5, maybe 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's about what Get Out did.
There's parts that are really cool, and I think that it could have been a really cool movie. I just don't think he quite knew what he wanted to do with it.
I think, and it sounds like you're in the minority on that because it sounds like most people like it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm hard to please, and I recognize that, but I still think it's sloppy writing.
Yeah,
especially coming from a man that just won an Academy Award for his writing.
Right.
I expected better writing. I mean, I know that the guy can write better than this. So I don't know. I'm still on board to see what he does next. I'm excited about the Candyman remake. That'd be cool.
I am too, but I'm also upset that he's not directing it. I was hoping he'd direct it.
He's also supposed to be pinned to the new Twilight Zone. He's going to be the new Rod Serling.
Yeah, he is.
But it's only on CBS, streaming. It's not on freaking normal CBS.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Nope, you got to pay for it. But,
Which is stupid bullshit.
Nothing in life is free, guys.
Especially.
Have you guys ever watched the show Key and Peele at all?
Yeah, sketches are really funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dark and horror themed comedy in their stuff. So I mean,
did you see the one where there's a zombie apocalypse and the zombies are staying away from them? Did you see that one, Mike?
No.
Yeah, and then they find they're with this group of people, and I think Kevin Sorbo was in it. And he's like, "Follow me, you'll survive." And the zombies attack him, but they all stay away, and they're acting like white people used to when they see black people, shying away from them, locking their door and stuff in the car. And then finally they go to a backyard, and this big group of people black people are having this big barbecue party because it's the end of the world and zombies don't want to eat them.
Because all the white zombies are still racist and they don't want anything to do with them.
That's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny show. I think it's on Hulu, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah,
like,
that's what I watch it on.
yeah. I watched the couple, one or two seasons. I didn't watch it all, but I get bored with stuff like that. Like Rick and Morty, I got bored with really fast. Not the same thing, but just one thing I got bored with.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, Mike, by the way, I watched an episode of what's that cartoon
Gravity Falls.
you like so much? The one where they have the shack.
Yeah, Mystery Shack, Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I watched an episode with that on TV today with Helena. She loved
What
it.
episode?
It was the episode where the uncle guy, this one guy, like televangelist, is trying to break into his vault or whatever, and he puts the combination in his brain, and they get the triangle guy to come. And,
Yeah,
yeah, that it was pretty weird.
What do you think?
It was all right. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to watch more of it because this was
that episode. You have to see the other stuff to understand.
Yeah, that's the 20th episode of the season or something like that. There's a show on called Star versus the Forces of Evil or something like that.
Yeah, Lex showed me a Resident Evil parody of that.
Yeah, I watched the episode with Helena today, and I liked it actually quite a bit. I got a couple laughs. I don't really watch the stuff that she watches, but I thought I'd bring that up to you. She really liked, and I said, Michael Lombardo likes the show. She's like, he does? I like it too. Yeah, she's like your biggest fan. So.
Well, that's the only fan I care about. If I have a button shot on my side, then fuck my Hollywood Square or a star. I don't care. I want a manhole cover with my handprints on it.
No, we're gonna invite you over here. We're gonna repave the sidewalk, and we can put a manhole cover with Mike Lombardo's name on it in our sidewalk. How about that? So, what else do we want to talk about tonight? On air, because I know there was a lot of other stuff we talked about off air.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to hear behind that curtain or whatever. Anything? We don't have much, do we?
So I just watched.
Okay.
Next Generation Blu-ray.
How'd that go?
Well, I watched the director's cut after I watched the art cut, and I was very pissed because the director's cut is 8 minutes longer, and all it is extended shots of people looking down roads, establishing shots, like just snippets of scenes that were cut for just to trim the edit, and they're just back in, and that's the director's cut. I'm like, okay. There's like 2 scenes that comprise about a minute and a half of actual like dialogue or anything important, and that's it. And I'm like, wow, I just fucking sat through this a second time with that. I was so annoyed. But the movie itself is a lot of fun. It's a lot better than people give it credit for.
I like it. I was a little underwhelmed by some of the special features on the Blu-ray, but I did the same thing you did, and this was back in, I think, when did it come out? January?
Yeah, it came out a couple months ago.
Yeah, for some reason I was really stoked to watch it, and I watched it, and I'm like, yeah, this has the same effect as it did before. And then I actually watched the director's cut after. I can't. Did you say you watched it after or before?
After.
Yeah, so we did the same thing, and I'm like, why is this on here? What's the?
Yeah, it could have been 2 deleted scenes.
Yeah,
like Renee Zellweger's like creepy stepdad attacking at the beginning, and then there's like they're in the bathroom, the crazy lady and Renee Zellweger like talking in the bathroom a couple seconds longer before Velmer comes in.
Yeah, that's not
scenes. Those are good, but and then I just watched this. Which is great. I love Pieces, and this Blu-ray is gorgeous. Oh my god!
Do you love it 2 pieces?
What's that?
You love it 2 pieces?
I do love it 2 pieces. I have a long history with this movie, going back to when I was.
I love it.
Hell yeah!
I love it.
I got it. I got the diamond DVD of it off of eBay by accident. The guy sent it to us by mistake, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this movie?" And
you got it accidental?
When I was at Monster Mania, shit, Everything's falling apart. There was a stand across from Scream Team where someone was selling adult puzzles, and they had the nudie puzzle from the beginning, like a replication,
Awesome.
like a big one, and they had Post-it notes over the saucy parts. And a little girl was right next to me, and she goes, "Look, mommy, a Barbie!" And her mom looked up, "That's not a Barbie," and she got really mad, and I just exploded laughing. Which I probably was not the most sensitive thing to do because the mom did not look happy. But I'm like, why do you have your like 5-year-old at a horror convention? Obviously, there's going to be like porn puzzles. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing missing from the set is a puzzle.
Well, they did have an edition that had the puzzle.
Did they?
The limited one, yeah, but this was like a full-size 1,000-piece puzzle. They had a Cannibal Holocaust one too, but they were like $50. So I did not.
Yeah, we talked about Cannibal Holocaust and my issues with the movie, and I've come to terms with it. I am going to get the Blu-ray because it's the Grindhouse, and they don't really produce anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a great movie for me, but I think it belongs in the collection with Cannibal Ferox, even though I prefer that over Holocaust.
I actually sold my DVD of Cannibal Holocaust at the Comic-Con, and 6 different people wanted to buy it from me, and I refused.
Why?
Because they didn't know what it was, and I was trying to warn people. And like the one guy that finally bought it, he was a big fan because people were like, "Oh, this looks fun." I'm like, "I promise it's not." And I got like real serious with them, and I was warning them, and I'm like, "I don't want you coming back here like all pissed off at me." Like, I was selling it for like $20, like it wasn't cheap, and I'm like, but the guy that finally got it, he's like, "I fucking love this movie. I've been looking for this DVD for a long time." I'm like, "Cool, there you go. Treat it well, treat you well."
So you're being like you ever see the High Fidelity?
No.
John Cusack.
I know.
No, Jack Black. He's like, no, go to the mall. We don't have that. Go to the mall. Yeah, I'm glad you sold that because you offered it to me, but I couldn't take it. If I get that movie, it's the Blu-ray or bust.
No, I agree.
So I mean, I love the soundtrack for sure. I don't know if I got to tell you, I woke up like humming it one morning, like, and this was like a month to 2 months after, and this was like maybe last week actually. I'm humming, I'm like, what the fuck is that theme? And I'm thinking in my head, like, and I start going through the Rolodex of Italian films I've seen in the last year, and I'm like, I can't place what that is. And then, I started humming it a little bit to my brother-in-law. He's like, that's Cannibal Holocaust. I'm like, oh my God, it is.
I listen to it in my car all the time. It's like my Zen music.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't place it. I kept thinking it was a Fulci movie. I'm like, no, that's not right. Because, I was like, oh, hold on, is it Hell of the Living Dead? No, that's not the Dawn of the Dead theme. So anyway, my brother-in-law's watched that like 5 times since he bought it, just so you guys know.
Can I backpace for a second?
No. Yeah.
I'm going to anyways.
Yes.
With the Texas Chainsaw Massacre New Generation, in the kitchen scene with Matthew McConaughey and the mom, when she's on the ground and she's like flailing, like she actually starts pulling her skirt down. You guys remember seeing that? Like her skirt was riding up as she was falling on the ground, but she took the time to put it back down. Oh my gosh, don't come at me.
That movie is seriously whacked out. Matthew McConaughey gives Chop Top a run for his money, man. Like,
it is actually,
he's fucking nuts in that movie.
I think that was my biggest reason for liking that movie was his performance as.
Well, yeah, I mean, he goes for it like in a big way. Like he's great in that movie.
Yeah,
Leatherface is really good too. I like how weird it is and stuff. The movie doesn't quite work. But
Leatherface, do you mean Darcy the Mail Girl?
Yeah.
I can't stand her.
No.
Anyway, yeah. I don't know. As much as I like that movie, honestly, I'm not sure if I got my money's worth out of that edition. I know how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't listen to the commentary yet. The interviews were interesting, but there wasn't really enough there. Like I felt like they could have had more.
Yeah.
Collector's edition, and for the price it was, I thought they could have added more stuff.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to get a little lax on what they call collector's editions anymore with Scream Factory. I mean, some things like I thought Urban Legends they kind of knocked it out of the park, but
Holy
like
shit,
except for the documentary was broken up into like 8 pieces. It's like what kind of bozo would do that?
Yeah, well, they didn't have a play all button, and I'm like, are you
No, that's
serious?
what I'm talking about. That's
Like,
a legit doc, and it's split up into like 7 or 8 different pieces. It's like who put this together? You know. Like anyway, I like those. That's a good collector's edition, but some of the other ones they've released in the last 2 years or so have not been. It's like you're shaming yourself for calling this a collector's edition because it's barely a collector's edition.
yeah, no, I agree. Their releases are spotty at best now. I really just try to shoot for Arrow more than anything.
If you can, that's what I do too. I just recently got. Well, let's go over what we've gotten recently because Mike, you've gotten a few things, and Jared, we kind of did last week, Jared, but you can bring them back out if you want.
What's that?
The stuff we've gotten in the last few weeks because Mike convinced me to get Street Trash, and I've got that. And
Excellent.
I didn't like when I watched that movie the whole time.
What I got might make Mike.
I don't know how I feel about this movie. The end happened when Bronson what happened to him. I was like, okay, this movie's awesome. The Dick and the Dick keep away game was kind of a little bit too much for me, but it probably did the social sisters proud. But anyway, what did you get, Mike? What's all your gifts?
I got pieces. I got Pet Cemetery. I got the regular Blu-ray of Pet Cemetery. I got pieces. I'm really excited about this. I got Skinner, the Ted Raimi movie. This movie is super ridiculous. It's from the 90s. It's like a direct-to-video. Like, it was actually one of the first DVDs I ever owned. But he, like, skins people and wears their skin. It's really fucking silly. And then this is the real gem that I found, though. At Monster Mania, I found at the puzzle stand, I found this. Hardware, the 2-disc set, but you can tell it's a little damaged, the slipcase. So the guy sold it to me for $4, but it was sealed. This is perfect. I have the regular DVD of it, not the 2-disc. The regular DVD is like $50 on eBay, and the 2-disc is like $100. And the Blu-ray is even more. So I have, I don't care about the slipcase. Like, fuck it. My old copy didn't have a slipcase. I didn't even know it had one. So this has a documentary on it called No Flesh Shall Be Spared, and then it's also got the short film that Hardware was based on from Richard Stanley. So I'm really excited to see that finally. And it was $4. So I was really happy.
That movie is so fucking weird.
And then, of course, we can all be super excited that there is a new fucking Phantasm Blu-ray set coming out. It's the same Blu-ray set they already put out from Well Go with a new featurette on Ravager, a 4K scan of Phantasm 2, and it comes with a fucking sphere.
Yeah, I saw it's the 40th anniversary edition.
Yeah, I was so annoyed. I'm like, come on, you fuckers. Yeah. I'm not rebuying it.
It makes you think, like, why didn't they wait 3 years to release the set that we have currently? Because that came out in 2017, so why not wait 2 years for the anniversary to release a big set in the fucking first place?
Wasn't the original Phantasm Blu-ray the 40th anniversary?
No, it couldn't be. The 40th anniversary is this year. The other day, it was yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I just annoyed the shit out of me. It's like, why are you going to repackage this again, but with a fucking ball? Like, and it's like, oh, well, it sold out so quick the first time. It's like, yeah, you're right. All those fans that, like, waited. And, first they released the Blu-ray of the first one. Everyone buys that. Then they're like, oh, look, 2 Blu-ray sets.
That's what I did. I thought I was going to build the collection.
Now they're doing it again. It's like, come on, what are you, Anchor Bay with Evil Dead and Army of Darkness?
Sorry. I'm on the same page with you. I actually was looking forward to, as I was getting ready to say, before I run in there and correct my children. I was really looking forward to kind of just building the collection, because Phantasm 2 was already out from Scream Factory, which it's actually a pretty decent edition.
Yep.
It's one of the earlier ones too, though. And then
Yep.
then I got the new edition, the remaster of Phantasm. So I was like, cool. Then I'll start looking for 3, 4, and 5 on. And 5 was out on Blu-ray, I believe, already at that point. So I was looking forward to it. Then Welgo goes out and releases this big, good-looking set. Arrow released one too. Did you ever see that set?
Yeah.
But so anyway, the Welgo one was right up my alley, so I got that. And then, they released 3 and 4 on Blu-ray separately, which I really liked the box art. So, fuck you, Welgo USA.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
all.
I'm happy that they put out all these editions, but it's literally been like every like 4 months they just re-release it again. It's like, come on.
It's great that, and I hope other people are finding Phantasm, because Phantasm is one of those movies that I think people in the horror community know about, but maybe haven't seen or watched. And maybe part of it is because Joe Bob did the Christmas his Christmas show was all Phantasm movies, so maybe it's finding new life, and that's the reason they're doing it. Or people want a collection and don't want to have to pay $600 for some asshole on eBay or Amazon. I don't know. I'm a little perturbed by it too, but I'm cool. I don't have to be perturbed because I'll just keep what I have. I'm fine. And besides, I'll just watch it on Shudder anyway because Joe Bob tells you all about it, and it's got Reggie on there. Yeah. Jared finally got the Blind Dead collection. After I told him he could pull the trigger on it.
How much was that?
I found it for like $60 on eBay used.
Not bad.
Gently used, and all the DVDs are perfect condition.
And I told him right after that Scream Factory announced they're releasing the Blu-ray set. So
that comes in a mausoleum.
Yes, it comes. It actually comes with one of the Blind Dead.
Yeah.
I also got this week, the Psycho collection.
Oh, you pulled the trigger on it.
I did.
Sweet.
It's got a cool little slip cover. It has the house.
How much are those the originals, or is that the remake in it too?
Oh God, no! I might throw it out the window.
Well, you don't want a shot-for-shot remake of
Tremors got a steelbook. Did you guys see that?
What's that?
Steelbook. Hey, Tremors got a steelbook Blu-ray.
Lord.
Tremors?
There's no new extras on it though, which is bullshit. But it's an FYE exclusive.
So Keith Saunders, I forgot to ask you guys. He wanted to be on the show tonight, but I totally forgot. He said he's bought too many movies this month too, and I've seen the stack that of movies he's bought. He said I still need to see Phantasm. It's on the watch list. Keith, you're too young for it. I don't think you're gonna like it. If you do watch it on Shudder, because Joe Bob explains how hard it is to follow the entire series and how little sense the movies make. So you didn't like City of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery, you might not like Phantasm. It's not a movie.
House by the Cemetery is just shit.
Well, he wasn't into the Italian movies as much, and as we are. And what's he holding up? What do you got there? I can't see it. Speak words. Oh, Gravity Falls.
Oh, hell yeah. Is that the Blu-ray or the DVD?
Hell yeah.
DVD.
The Blu-ray set has
It came out on Blu-ray too?
Yeah, the Blu-ray
You don't need animated stuff on Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray set is amazing because it comes in a nice hard box, and it's got it has a feature-length documentary called One Crazy Summer about like the entire there's so much shit on it. It's got commentaries in all 40 episodes. The Hearst twins, which is the creator and his sister that they base the show on. It's all the stuff about them. Between the Pines, between the behind the scenes special, deleted scenes, there's shorts, and there's tons of little Easter eggs all over it too.
Yeah, it looks like this might have the same special features.
Oh, they put out a limited set for that too? Oh yeah, you got the box and everything. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So how much is that?
It's just the DVD version though, yeah.
This was Lex got this off the Shout Factory site for our anniversary, and I think it was like $70 or $80 on Blu-ray, and then it came with a lithographic poster, and then they had some of them were signed, but I did not get a signed one, unfortunately.
That's too rich for my blood. I'll just keep watching on Disney Channel.
If you go to Walmart, they have it for $20, the whole series.
Oh, well, I'll be buying it for my daughter to watch.
Got commentaries on every episode still, though.
I don't need that
Commentaries
stuff.
are super fun.
I've watched one episode, and so I can't get $70 invested, and I'd like to watch
I think you'll really like it. It's a really smart show, and there's a ton of horror references and stuff.
My biggest problem with this generation of cartoons is the animation and how cheaply it's done. Because there's another show that she was watching that I was kind of into, and I was like, the animation is garbage in this. So the animation was okay in that show, but still.
Gravity Falls there's some really, really beautifully animated stuff, but stylistically, it's still a little too vectorish for me.
Yeah.
But like, especially the second season gets really good. Like the first episode of the second season, there's a lot of the time their animation team they just said no, we can't do this because it was so complex. And they're like, well, you have to do it. And then they try, like, some of the shit is fucking insane. Like, there's a lot of really beautiful hand-drawn animation in there, too. Like, you just have to... Well, there's tons and tons and tons of details. That's all I'm going to say.
No, their animation in that show is not as bad as some of the other things. Like, there was a show on Cartoon Network called OKKO. You heard of that one?
Yeah, one of the creators of that show is friends with the Gravity Falls people, apparently. And
well, the show is awful, but the animation's worse. So my kids hate it. That's I have to base everything off how they feel because it's these are made for them essentially.
Yeah.
They're not made for me, so I can't be like, oh, it's terrible because I'm an adult and I expect better from my cartoons.
Well, the Gravity Falls is an adult show.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard. It was on at 11 o'clock this morning, so on the Disney Channel. Anyway, I got it set to record so we could check it out. And is it linear or is it just episodic?
It's episodic, but there's an overarching story arc.
So you do kind of got to watch it from episode 1 through.
Yes, they're dude. I'm telling you, there's so many hidden, like ciphered, like you have to decrypt messages and shit. Like it's like there's so much shit. If you watch the Blu-ray set and see the behind the scenes, it's fucking insane how much stuff they put into it. And then the last 3 episodes of the series it's the best finale of any show I have ever seen in my life. They bring back everything. Literally every fucking single thing in the show plays into that finale. It's nuts. And it was all planned to only be 2 seasons. So they from the start they had it mapped out, which is great because you can tell because it tells one complete story arc. And I cannot say enough good things about that show. It's one of the best cartoons I've ever seen. And I do not say that lightly. In fact, if I were to give it a star rating out of 5, I'd give it a 3.5.
He's stingy with stars.
No, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5.
The automatic half-star deduction for no breast?
I can't say that, but...
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to get all of them on the DVR and watch it that way. And if we like it enough, we'll buy it. I have no problems buying animated stuff because did you guys know that the episode tonight is called "No Sugar for Daddy"?
I did see that.
Okay.
Of course, I saw that.
Just make sure you guys knew what you were getting yourself into tonight. And this is kind of just a free for all episode. Because Brian's at NJ. Anybody that sees this that's in the area at NJ HorrorCon, where are they? Atlantic City. Brian's got T-shirts for $15.
$15.
Yeah, Horror Syndicate T-shirts. Got 2 different styles. He's got a VHS at Midnight shirt, which I don't know if that is defunct now or what. After last week,
it might be.
It might be. So if you want to, that gets something that may not ever happen again. Me, Jared, and Brian all have the original shirts. Jenny and Chuck are there. Apparently, they're hanging out with Richard Grieco today. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw that.
Mike, when's your next appearance?
I've got some Doomsday screenings coming up in July, like Christmas in July type of deal. And then I might be going to the Schiller Theater in Jersey in April to hang out with Doomsday Star / Strangers Pray at Night killer Damien Maffei is a guest there, so I might go hang out with him for a day with Lex Quinn. And I might be going to Monster Mania in Hunt Valley to hang out with the Scream team at some point again. And that'll be
That's
What's that?
September-ish. Will Justin be there? Because
Yeah, apparently he's gonna be at one of them. I'm not sure which one it is, but I might go up for the day or something again.
yeah, I know he's gonna be filming the barn coming up. Maybe that's why he's so hard to reach. Deep in thought and trying to. I can't be trusted around a lighter. I burn everything.
Say what?
I'm bad. I'm playing with a lighter and this candle. Luckily, it's a candle. And I'm just like melting the wax around. So I can't. When I was 14, back in the day, you used to pass notes to girls and they pass notes back. Broke up with this girl, and she said some nasty things about me freshman year of high school. So I was talking to somebody on the phone, and I was putting all the notes from her in a shoebox, and then I decided to light a match and let it go on my carpet. So
Shit.
yeah. So my mom, after I put it out, she's like, "Well, we got to figure out how to fix this." The carpet was like a khaki color, and she found the carpet she found was way darker, and so she cut a square out and put that square back in. She's like, "Oh, we should be able to get our deposit back." Like, it's two fucking different colors.
And did it work?
Yep. We got our deposit back. Yeah, because apparently before the guys came in to inspect that, because they inspect the apartments, I guess, the maintenance crew came out and ripped the carpet out because they were replacing it anyway. So they didn't see that there was a burn or a missing square. So yeah, we got lucky. They just gave her the deposit back. This is like 1994. Nobody cared. Everybody was kissing.
Acid loose back then.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a fun story. But I don't know. I got really stoked up this week about upcoming conventions for myself. Days of the Dead is going to be in Indianapolis in June or in July, and they have not hardly mentioned any guests yet, which is very concerning to me. Except for Pamela Anderson, and like I think yeah. So,
that's
but I'm
like,
excited because I want to go see some of the people I know, because I know Brian from the Horror Syndicate will be there. Not Brian Enright.
Brian.
Yeah, Brian White. We got Brian White, Brian Enright. Let me take a double check here. But Days of the Dead, if I'm not mistaken, they only have like 3 guests announced for July. But normally by this point they have a pretty full roster. I'm sure Kane Hodder will be there because he's always at Days of the Dead. William Shatner. Oh, here we go. William Shatner, Edward Furlong, Pamela Anderson, Kane Hodder, Kurt Angle, the wrestler.
Oh my.
We had Dennis Christopher. I'm not sure who that guy is. Nick Stahl, a bunch of people I don't give a shit. Kiss, Resurrection, performing on Saturday. Sam Jones and Carrie
Kiss
Henry.
Resurrection.
A Kiss cover band?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Days of the Dead is under new management, and they've already pissed off a lot of their fan base by I don't know if you guys heard about the whole weekend pass snafu they went through. Apparently their show in Hotlanta this year, they were turning people away at the door where they had a weekend pass from the year before, and they announced on their Facebook page, and it fucking blew up. And I actually posted up on the website and heard from the showrunner. But this guest list is fucking bullshit. It's like, I really want to go to this con, but I kind of don't want to. I think they're focusing on Las Vegas because that's where I guess the new showrunners are from. So, no, it's still Horror Hound. Oh, that's okay. The Las Vegas show is going to have Bam Margera.
Hell yes.
Maybe he can show us some skateboarding tricks.
Yeah, I may as well skip Days of the Dead and head down to KC, Jared. KC's got some good guests lined up. Because I do go for guests. I don't go just, I do go for just bullshitting around horror conventions, but I like, the guests too. And we saw we looked at the guest list, didn't we?
I believe so.
Yeah, and if Horror Hound is going to be trash like that, I'm not going to go to Horror Hound. I'll just drive my happy ass up to Pittsburgh and cuddle up with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Pittsburgh, or Pennsylvania?
Pittsburgh. No, you said Pittsburgh.
Okay, I meant Pennsylvania.
Whatever. To touch this stuff.
Yeah. I had a conversation with Nathan Thomas Miller. Thomas, remember Thomas, Mike?
Oh, Thomas. Yeah,
Thomas. And he talked about how horror conventions are dying. I don't know that they're dying.
No, they're becoming so oversaturated. There's 1,000 per year now, and they're not horror shows. They're like guests like Pamela Anderson and wrestlers and shit. It's like that's not horror.
No, Days of the Dead is
pop culture conventions.
I'm gonna start skipping Days of the Dead if they keep doing this shit. William Shatner, he was in one horror movie that I know of.
Christmas Horror Story.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He was a radio. That's the only one I know of. Pamela Anderson, was she in a horror movie? I mean, other than her entire career. He was in that sex tape with Tommy Lee. That was kind of a horror movie, wasn't it?
She might have been in. Fuck my life. What the hell is it called? Shit, I don't know. She might have been in like horror parodies or something. I can't remember.
It probably was like I Know What You Did Last Halloween or some shit.
Yeah.
All they have listed is Baywatch and Barbed Wire, and then in Shatner they have Star Trek, Twilight Zone, and something called Kingdom of Spiders, which I don't have any clue what that is.
A movie. It's a giant spider movie from the 60s.
Yeah,
that is the point, though. Shatner was probably in one of the best Twilight Zone episodes.
Yeah,
two of them.
Two of them.
Yeah,
I know he was in the Gremlin one with the Gremlin on the plane.
Yeah, and he's in. What the fuck's the other one? I was just talking about this today with my boss. I can't remember.
John Lithgow did a great job, though, in the movie on that episode.
Yeah. Well, who is it playing his character in the new show? It's Adam Scott, isn't it?
I think it's Adam Scott, yeah, because I saw the trailer for it on YouTube.
Wait, so the new Twilight Zone is remakes of old episodes?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's dumb. I thought they were going to be new stories.
I don't think they're all remakes, are they?
I don't know for sure.
Keith says Pamela Anderson's in Scary Movie 3. That's not a horror movie. That's a spoof. She gets killed at the beginning, though, I believe.
She probably plays herself, too.
I think she plays Charlie Sheen's wife or something like that. Makes sense.
Was that before or after he lost his teeth?
I have 3 tickets to Days of the Dead, and I might skip that fucking show if they don't, get some good guests going. It's ridiculous because I'll pay for a ticket if it's got people I want to see there. So, I know you're not big into the guests though, right, Mike?
No, not really. Clint Howard was supposed to be a chiller, and I don't think he is anymore. I was really bummed.
Sitting here talking about Pamela Anderson, and you bring up Clint Howard.
Well, we're talking about masturbation fantasies, aren't we?
That's true.
I wanted to get my Ice Cream Man Blu-ray signed.
Yeah, he is the Ice Cream Man.
Right.
Which con is that?
Chiller.
Oh, where's that?
Jersey.
Wow, Jersey just has all kinds of conventions.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them, and there's a new convention coming to Gettysburg called Creature Feature Weekend. I met the guy that runs that at the Comic-Con. He seems like a cool dude. There's that one. Then there's another one called Pop Rock and Horror that just is going to be in the same area. So PA's got like 5 of them now.
So we have none. We have Wizard World, which is coming next weekend, which I'm boycotting because their ticket prices are a joke, and it's not a horror con. And then we have Mighty Con, which I have a table at for my comic business. And then that's it. We don't have anything in St. Louis. The closest thing is Indianapolis, and it's Horror Hound and Days of the Dead. Chicago has Flashback Weekend, which they have very much the same cast of people up there every year, mostly Nightmare people. But I'd like to check that one out. Jared has one that's been gotten better from what it sounds like.
Yep.
What's that one called?
Crypticon.
Crypticon. And then there's one in Louisville that's not far from me, but I can't. So I'm like centrally located for some of these, but I keep going back to Days of the Dead for some reason. I guess because Indianapolis is only 3 hours away.
Louisville's in Milliner's neck of the woods.
Yeah, well, he comes up. Well, you know, he came up to Horror Hound a couple years. He probably got in free too. Just walked right in. Oh, there's Nathan. He did magazine covers for us. He loves Tarantino movies. They're brilliant.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah, he does.
he does. I like a couple of them, but not very many of them. I think I'm not smart enough to understand the Tarantino movies. No. Anyway, I think what the fuck happened to the tab? What?
Django!
Django! You son of a bitch! All right, I think we're gonna end it in the show. We don't have shit else to talk about. Keith's the only one watching.
Give me 1 second, guys.
What was that?
Hello?
Oh, Mike's phone.
Yes.
All right, for Mike Lombardo, I'm Ray Merrick. Jared.
Good night, guys.
Yes, have a good evening. This was a fun show.